got a surprise for you. Let's get this started, and then I will show you that there is some news in
Okay.
terms of the filthy rich. Yes,
Pour it on me.
sir. Yes, sir. Elon Musk is no longer the richest man in the world,
For now.
the richest person in the world for those gender people. Um, yeah, so um, we're gonna get to that. So today on the show, we're gonna be talking about how to be a billionaire, how we can get rich. And for those of us who cannot become billionaires, we'll talk about one way to get rich that's similar to the billionaire method. We have a couple questions that came in, so we can talk about those. We're gonna do the SmackDown update. And then we also have a couple of news items that we're going to show the chart on and talk about. So let's look at the SPX today, up 0.3%, all-time high. Yay for SPX. All-time high for NASDAQ. Yay, NASDAQ. Russell is down today. The Dow Jones is down 0.5%. Gold up again, all-time high for gold. Yay,
Mhm.
gold. um, VIX
And
is
Bitcoin.
down under 15. And let's see, where's oil at? Oil is up today, 63.75. That was interesting. Saudi says we're going to pump more, and then oil goes up.
Well, you also have Russia and NATO, right?
Oh yeah, we got Russia and NATO having a little spat today. Um, so yeah, lots of stuff going on. We got Israel bombing another country. This is, I don't know, the fourth or fifth country they bombed. But this time, I don't know, there might be some repercussions. We'll see how that goes. All right, so first news item. Yesterday, Oracle came out with earnings and they blew up their numbers, their projections. And so the stock on Oracle is not a small company. Oracle's been
No.
around, big company. Their stock is up 40% today, mainly because they're saying that they have a lot of backlog in terms of orders coming in from AI related stuff. And so they have companies like Google, companies like Amazon that are offloading and Microsoft offloading their cloud requirements over to Oracle. So those guys already have all the servers and the cloud stuff, but I guess they have too much or too little, and now they need to get more, so they're giving it to Oracle. So Oracle's making money off these guys. Um, and it's just more of this whole AI thing going crazy. And so, thanks to that 40% jump in the stock, the founder, Larry Ellison, is now worth over $110 million more than he was yesterday, which puts him at roughly around $400 billion net worth. And so he is now the world's richest person, no longer Mr.
Congratulations.
Elon Musk. So sorry
For
about
now.
that, Elon.
For now.
Sorry, Elon. Yeah, you got to get those robots, man. You got to get those robots humming. Um, so you can go jump back in the mix because it seems like Oracle. I mean, okay, Oracle is a big company, right? And a 40% move is nothing to shake a stick at. That's it's not like a paper, it's not like a penny stock where it's just gonna jump
Oh.
up 40% one day. Um and it's not a short squeeze. Some people thought, oh yeah, it's just short interest. No, it was very little short interest in this company. And
Hmm.
so this is all buyers. This is all buyers coming in. Now, the first thing you think to yourself is like, maybe I should get in. Like, okay, I think we missed the boat here.
Yeah.
Right? 40% move. I think we missed it. We might let it give it some time, give it maybe a week to let it settle down, see what happens, see if it retraces. And then maybe you think you can get in. Normally I've heard on Wall Street there's like a 3-day rule, like, oh, earnings happens or some big news event happens, and then you give it 3 days to let it settle and let the dust settle, because most of the time it's just like a knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah,
So
you don't want to chase that.
yeah, I mean, I thought about it, but I was like, it was up 25% overnight, right? When the news came out. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll think about, getting some tomorrow. But then this morning it opens, it's up 40. I was like, no, I don't think so.
It's already about 10 off its high though.
Yeah.
Go
And
ahead, tell me.
so, so like, it's an AI story, so they're not the only AI play, right? So a lot of the AI companies are up today. And so we could pick something else that hasn't gone up 40% yet. So you
Hmm?
got plenty of options to choose from. But the question was, right, how do you become a billionaire? So you want to give me any suggestions?
How to become a billionaire.
Yeah, I know I put you on the spot.
I think that to some degree you have to leverage your debt to some degree.
Okay.
A lot of people or use debt intelligently, right? So I think that's a big um, I think part of the equation, right, for becoming a billionaire. So you have to take risk, but you have to do it intelligently. I think a lot of them use debt as a leverage tool, so they're able to make these, you know, outsized risk, um,
Right.
or yeah,
Leverage. Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
That would be my primary.
Okay.
The average person doesn't do that.
Right. Right. Now, so when I look at it, right, there's a couple different playbooks, I think, to become a billionaire. Not everybody does it the same way, but most of the billionaires they do it in two or three different ways. We're talking about Larry Ellison. We're talking about Elon Musk. You take a look at the top list, and you have, Zuckerberg on there. Warren Buffett was on there at a time. Bill Gates is still on there. Um, Ballmer, I don't know if he's still on there.
Mhm.
The Walmart family is still on there. There's a lot of them, right? There's a lot of people that are worth like over $100 billion, and they've all used the same playbook. So basically, it's pretty simple what they've done. It's simple in terms of, the mechanics. It's not easy to do though, but it's I'm going to start a company, whether it's a tech company, most of them are tech companies. Walmart was retail, Buffett was investing in conglomerations. Carlos Slim was a Mexican that was at the top of the list, and he was big in cement and a whole bunch of other stuff. Um, there was a French fellow, I forgot his name, LVH. He owns LVH retail. And so, you start your company and you grow the company, but that by itself does not make you rich because you cannot. I mean, it can make you rich, but it doesn't make you like 100 billionaire, right? Nobody's going to save their way to 100 billion. Nobody's going to earn their way to $100 billion. The way to get it is to multiply the money. The fastest way to do that is to what I call making money out of thin air.
Mhm.
And we talk about this in one of our trainings. It's like, okay, how do you do this? How do these people make all their money? Well, they go public, right? The day before they go public, they're normal people. Yes, they have a company, but it's not liquid, so they have no money. Then the next day they go public, and now they're worth billions and billions of dollars, and every bank in the world will lend them money, and they can have whatever they want, they can buy whatever they want, they can travel, they can do everything. They're world famous the day after they go public. And so, I mean, you look at this guy, Larry Ellison, right? Did he do anything different between yesterday and today? Like,
No.
did he make anything different? Did he sell anything different? No. His stock went up. That's it.
Yeah.
His stock could go down tomorrow, and he gives it all back. Not likely, but that's the way the billionaire playbook works. So you start something, you go public, and you get into the hundreds of billions. Now, we do have a whole bunch of people that are getting into like the 1 billion, 2 billion kind of range right now, starting companies and then selling their companies, mostly AI because the AI craze and the AI bubble.
Mhm.
So we have people doing that. And then you also have people who use, like you said, leverage, but they use other people's money. And, Buffett did this, right? Um, and all the hedge fund managers that are billionaires, they do this, where they are just managing other people's funds, other people's assets, and they get a percentage. So you manage a big enough pie, then you can also get a big chunk of that, even though
Understood.
your percentage is small of the big pie. So I think those are like the two or three different playbooks of being a billionaire. So if you want to be a billionaire, what are your chances? Well, you got to start a company because everybody had a company. You either sell it to some private individual or a public company and you cash out, or you take it public and keep growing it and growing it and growing it, and hopefully it's hundreds of billions of dollars, or you find a way to leverage other people's assets, other people's money, and you go that way.
Yeah.
Um, Now, most people cannot do any of those. So, what do we do? Like, what do we normal people do?
Well, I would also add that people, of that stature, they're more in on they're all in on what they're doing, right? They're hyper focused, I would say. They're not like we call it diversification, where you're putting your money all in different places. They're very focused, I'd say, on what they're trying to do.
The majority of them, yes.
I would add that, yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple of weird ones.
Yeah, I mean there are, but I think in general,
Right.
that type of person's very focused about what they're trying to do.
Yeah, for sure. For
There's no
sure.
like, oh, I'm over here, I'm over there. It's like, boom, I'm doing this, hell or high water, right?
Yep. They have like their main product, they have their main thing, they're going at it and until they stick to their one main strategy until it works.
Right.
And so we take a look at it and is this is it just like, oh, so what can we learn from this? Right. And in the training, I talk about this and I say, hey, these people, they all made money out of thin air because that money, that $400 billion that this guy is worth, is not real money. He doesn't have dollars sitting in the bank account, right? Um, could he sell his shares and get that money? Yeah, he could sell the shares, but I don't think he's going to get $400 billion for it. Um, and so even then, who's going to give him that much cash, right? So it's
Hmm.
not like it's actual money or cash. So the thing that they've all done is they have multiplied and they have turned money or something that was nothing into an asset. They made money out of thin air. And I keep saying that over and over again. But most people, what they don't understand is that us regular people can do this all day long at the same time. We can do it on a smaller scale, which can then build up to a much larger scale. But when we make money out of thin air, we're basically taking something that we don't own and we're selling it. And it gets created when we sell it. And I'm talking about options, right?
Hmm.
You want to sell a covered call on a stock that you own. Well, that option that you're selling, that call is not there. It's not a physical thing in the world. But when you go in the market and you hit sell, then it turns into a contract. And you created that contract between you and the buyer. So now you have created something out of thin air, a product, you get paid for it. And so you have created money out of thin air and you really don't have to do anything. And the broker will handle the whole transaction.
Right.
So, um, if people want to get wealthy, especially we keep talking about AI and all this stuff and all the changes, um, you have to take a look at, okay, what is working right now? Tony Robbins says this all the time from the beginning. He's like, you find success, success leaves clues. So you find the person who's successful, find out what they're doing, and just do what they're doing.
Follow the playbook. Yeah.
Yeah, and you follow the playbook. So I'm sure not everybody wants to be a billionaire. And if you do, stop listening to our podcast and go listen to the guy who's going to teach you how to take your company public podcast. But if you're not willing to do that, if you don't want to do that, and you just want to be wealthy on your own terms, maybe you want to be worth $10 million or $20 million or $5 million or $1 million or whatever, but you want to have enough money coming in so that you have no worries, no stress. Then it comes time to learn the skill that doesn't take much time, doesn't take any employees, doesn't take a lot of capital, doesn't take any hard work, no manual labor, doesn't take a lot of learning or college degrees. You know, it can be done even if you're not physically able to do anything or travel or go anywhere, if you're stuck at home. And it can be done in your spare time. And I haven't seen, like, I've been looking, but I haven't seen anything that fits all those criteria and is as powerful as what we have uncovered or what we have learned and
I agree.
we, proselytize. So it's like, okay, everybody, we need to make money out of thin air. Let's start selling options. If you're not selling options, I don't know what the heck you're doing. Um, even if you don't want to make it into like a living, you don't want to do it for a living, that's fine. If you have a portfolio, which everybody should, you need to learn to sell options because that's money just sitting
Just
that you're
sitting
not
there.
earning.
Hmm.
It's free money. If
It
you
can
have a
make a
portfolio
big, big,
already,
big difference
yeah.
over time. Absolutely.
And so, like the guy that you talked about on the cruise, right? This guy's got thousands and thousands of shares of different companies, and he doesn't know that he could be making thousands of dollars every month by clicking a couple buttons.
I know it just blows your mind that you're just like, look, you have all this firepower, right? You're not even using it.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah.
It's like, how do we get the people to understand, like, hello, this is doable. It's not that hard. Um, but yeah, of course there's risk. There's risk in everything.
Hmm.
But do it the smart way. You limit the risk to some degree or what you're capable of, what you can handle. Anyway, so that's my take. But yeah, that one of our trainings we talk about that. Like, hey, how do you make money out of thin air? How do you become a billionaire? How do you do that? And it's really fun. It's actually a lot of fun. In fact, it wasn't like, I've talked about it a few times, but like I think that with um, the stuff that's happening with the technology and whatnot, that we are going to live much longer than what the lifespan has been in the past. And so I decided, hey, I think 120 is a cool number. So I'm going to live till 120 and I would be perfectly healthy at 120. I don't want to be like decrepit and sitting in an old age home or something waiting to die. No, I want to be healthy, active, my mind is active. And so I used the calculator that we have on our website, the investment calculator, and be like, okay, if I start with, how much money I have now and I earn a 20% average return, how much money will I make? And at 120, I'm going to be a billionaire plus. And I was like, whoa, that's really cool. So, for a while, I'm going to have to trade it myself. And then eventually I'll probably have to trade or teach my kids how to do it. And be like, hey,
And
you
carry it
guys,
on.
here's my money. You start trading it because I want to be a billionaire.
But it's such a big point, right? Because one of the biggest fears out there is, are you going to, outlive your money, right? I mean, you have to make
Agreed.
sure that and it's huge. So, I mean, it's even more necessary than it was that you need to learn these skills because as you get older and you're going to live longer, I mean, where's the money going to be coming from, right? You may not physically be able to do anything. You got to learn this stuff. So. I mean, it's becoming even more important
Hmm. Yeah.
for sure.
We can't explain it or say it enough times.
Yeah,
Um, the changes that are coming. In the past, like companies, they used to have pension funds and you were taken care of. Now, you get to be like in the 50s and oh, hey, he makes too much money, let's fire him.
right.
I mean,
And
that's
then
just the
then
way it
it's
works.
yeah, then you have that little nest egg if you do even have one, right? And then you're taking from that, and then you don't have, any skills to grow it. So it's becoming even
And
more important.
not only that, but like let's say, you're a professional and you've been in the same company for a while, same job, same profession. You're making 200, 300,000 a year maybe, and you get laid off in your 50s. Well, number one, nobody's going to pay you the same amount of money. And number two, your family is now used to this really nice lifestyle. The kids are going to public school, all their friends are there. You got the big house and maybe the vacation house and the boat and all this other stuff that, we got to get rid of quick because we can't afford it.
Right. Your
So
standard of living.
it's insane. That leads to, financial hardship, leads to stress, leads to divorce, leads to health issues, which is just a spiral,
Hmm.
a negative spiral, just going down, 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 debt increasing, all that kinds of stuff. So, um, yeah, it is what it is. All right. So, I do have a couple questions today that came in, so let me pull those up. We could talk about those. Hold on a second. All right. So, question number one. What is the RUT index? You want to take that one?
Sure. So I like to explain this to me. Forgive me. I do like analogy, right? Think of you're on the ocean, right? And you have these, I'd say, a huge boat, right? Like a big cargo boat, right? I think of that as, um, and you have some mid-sized ships, and then you have some small ships, right? Um, and I think of that like they're all out in the sea, and I think of the big ships, the really behemoth ones. I think of like the Dow, right? So the Dow 30. So I think of the big ships take a long time to turn around and move, and then you move into the S&P 500, which would be your mid-sized ships, right? And then I think about smaller ships that can move very quickly. They're smaller in size. They can make turns. They can move pretty quickly. I think of that as the Russell 2000. So I think of that as part of the structure of the market. Now, the rut is a combination of 2,000 small capitalized companies. So think of your small companies is how I would think about it. Overall, thinking
Oh,
about a
so
huge
you're talking about
picture.
the ships are all individual companies.
Yeah, so like your S&P 500 would be like your mid-sized ships, right? So you think 500 of the mid-sized ships out there.
Okay, okay. Because
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the index itself was the big behemoth.
No, 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 no. So I think of like the Dow, right, as like big, huge companies
Right,
that take, think of them as like big ships out in the sea that are take a while to turn around. They're just chugging along. Those are your blue chips, whatnot.
right.
And then your S&P 500, your mid-size. And I like to think about it that way as a kind of a structure.
Okay.
So your RUT would be a index, a combination of those 2,000 small capitalized companies.
Right.
That's
So,
how I look at it.
yeah, so the rut is basically the Russell 2000, which like you
Mhm.
said is small cap, meaning that their capitalization or their value is smaller. They're
Yep.
not big enough to be in, say, NASDAQ or S&P 500 or something like that. So they're in the Russell. And then there's also the Russell 1000 and the Russell
Yep.
3000 and the Wilshire 5000. So there's a whole bunch of different groupings. The RUT index happens to be one where they look at 2,000 specific small cap companies, um, and you put it together, and so you can trade them together as one. So, you know, that gives you a little bit of diversification if you're looking and playing in this space.
Mhm.
But as an index, to me, if each of the company is like a ship, right? The index is like a whole flotilla, like a whole army or an armada or something. Just like
Right,
all
exactly.
the ships together.
Not just one specific
Yeah.
small.
So if one or two ships sink, or one or two ships like go again, beat everybody in the race or whatever, it doesn't matter because the whole armada is floating together, and so you take the average of all the armada, if that makes any sense. But like the index itself is it's kind of like a trading vehicle. Now you cannot buy the index, the RUT, the SPX, the NDX. These are all indexes. You cannot buy them, but you can trade options on them. And they have ETFs that you can buy and hold if you wanted to. So RUT is IWM, is the biggest one. There are others as well. So if you want to own the small caps, then you do that. Now, why would you own small caps? Well, most of them are American companies. And so if you don't want any European or overseas exposure, then you would go with that. They're also smaller, which means that if they have good news, they can run faster. So in the past, the RUT has been more volatile than the SPX or the NASDAQ. or the
Mhm.
Dow. And so, if it runs, it can run a lot, right? Right now,
It can run the
uh,
other way too.
it can run down too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And so right now with all the news with the Fed and the possibility of lower rates, that is great for everybody, all the companies, but it's really good for smaller cap companies because they need capital more than the big boys need capital. Because the big boys, they can do a whole bunch of other things. They can get it from other places. The smaller cap companies, they mostly get it from banks and institutions where they have to borrow it and pay interest. And so they love it when rates are low. And that's why whenever you see headlines about, oh yeah, interest rates are going down, you'll see the rut pop
Yep.
for
Which
that reason.
likely could be going forward next week.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So yeah.
So that was question number one. Now there's also a much larger discussion. Well, we can get to this in a different day about indexes versus ETFs, and we have blog posts on that on the website and podcast episodes and whatnot. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. Which one to trade, one versus the other. What are the benefits as an options trader? So keep an eye on that. And then another question is it necessary to close out a credit spread or let it close worthless? My broker suggested I close the short position to avoid getting exercised. What do you think, Matt?
Well, depends on what you're doing. So with a spread, I like to close it out early, typically. Um, then you don't have any kind of assignment or anything like that. So I think the safe thing to do is to close it out. Um, in general, that's how I do it.
What if it's going worthless?
I mean, you could let it go worthless, right? I just think it needs to be something that you're watching very closely.
But is it mandatory that you close it out?
No. Mm.
Because I know, like in a debit trade, right? If you're doing a debit trade where you actually pay money to get in, like a butterfly, for example, or a debit spread, you have to, if you want to take your profits, you have to sell and exit the trade in order to collect those profits.
Right. If you don't,
And
then you're out. Yeah.
yeah, they're going to expire and you're out of luck. You just lose everything. But in a credit spread, yeah, you could let it expire and it'll go away if it's out of the money. And so sometimes I do let mine expire, but they have to be really, really far out of the money.
Yeah. I mean, it has to be in a safe manner that you're doing so. So,
Yeah.
I mean, as long as you're paying attention to it, I think you can let it expire.
But you don't have to get out of it. Like, I don't know,
No.
the broker says, oh, hey, you have to do this. You don't have to. I think the broker is just trying to keep you safe. Um, could it be assigned? Yes, but if the time value is very low of the option and it's out of the money, most likely than not, you will not get assigned and it'll expire. So, and sometimes if you do a credit spread, sometimes you will get assigned early, even if it's not in the money. And that's actually a good thing. You actually get your money up front and then you just exit the position and you're done. So you actually get your whole profit and you're out early. So that's actually a good thing if that happens. So not a bad thing. Cool.
Yep. It's funny how you talked about letting it expire. That's kind of how you first found out about selling options, if you go way back.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yes.
mean that's pretty, makes me
Yeah.
think of
And then the spread expired
like
and it
where to
wasn't there
go.
anymore. And I was like, oh, mad. Like, hey, where's my money?
Yeah.
Where'd the trade go? So cool. All right. So now you said something about Apple.
Yeah, so well, you've talked about it numerous times about how Apple has they come out with a new product, which they have. Um, and basically after the event happens or as it does, the stock just craters. I wouldn't say it craters, but it goes down more often than goes up. So if you look at Apple today, and I'll bring it up. Let's see here. Let me know if you can see it.
Yep.
All right, so this is Oracle. So
Whoa, look at that jump. Look at
Yeah,
that
look at that
jump.
jump right there. So
Holy
boom.
cow.
Yeah, it's coming down now. It's coming down a little bit. All right, so
It's not going to go
Apple,
back down to where it launched from.
maybe it'll be somewhere in here. Um, let's see here. All right, so Apple, they had the event. I think it was today, right?
No,
Um,
it was yesterday.
yesterday, yeah. So,
Yesterday or the day before, one of the two, where they announced the new iPhone and all that stuff. Yeah.
but look at this drop today. About a 3% drop, a little bit more.
Yeah, and
Uh,
it dropped yesterday and the day
there you
before. So
go.
it
Yeah. So
dropped.
it's just been, you know, uh, you talked about it a number of times, right? That your theory was like, okay, it tends to they sell the news, it just
Uh-huh.
so here it
Yep.
is again playing
So
out.
whenever they announce something, you buy it, and then when it actually comes out, people are like disappointed, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I looked it up today a little bit, and they are a little disappointed. With the camera and some other things. They're not so sure that they're putting out the product that they want them to. So
Mm,
a lot of capex in this too, and we'll see how it shakes out.
yeah. It hasn't like
It's not like a terrible jump, down
no.
number, but
Three
it's
but three
enough.
percent can be a lot.
Yeah.
But then, it used to be a lot more pronounced. Now it's not as big because their product launches are not that big deals anymore.
Right.
Um,
It used to be like, oh, everyone would stop whatever they're doing and listen in.
Wait in lines to go to the store. I want the new thing. Da, da, da. The last thing I think was the pods, the ear
Mm.
pods. That was like the biggest thing that they came out with. But now if all you're gonna do is make it thinner and put a different camera on it, like okay, no big deal here. The other thing is when you make it thinner, the battery life goes down because there's not
Right.
enough
That's
room in the
exactly. That was a
battery.
big thing. Yeah, they said that some of that information was actually leaked a little bit about
Ah,
the battery was not as strong as they hoped it would be.
it can't be if it's
Yeah.
thinner. So,
Yeah. So
uh, yeah, but.
they got some things to work out, but I thought that was interesting.
Mm. And then Amazon, um, Amazon, they have, I didn't even know this, but they have their own division of robotaxi, self-driving robotaxi.
Really, I did not know that.
Yeah, and they are launching in Vegas. It's called Zoox, Zoox.
Okay, so it'd be that and what Waymo be the
Yes.
big
So
ones.
Waymo's already there. Tesla is trying to grow into different cities. Um, and now we have Amazon Zoox getting into the flow. So you got Google, Amazon, and Tesla all battling it out for robotaxi supremacy. Um, but the Amazon one, it actually looks like a box. It doesn't look like a car. It looks like a box. You just get in, and it'll drive you where you want. So it's a box on wheels, pretty much.
I'm so fascinated in how where this is going, right? Like how disruptive it will be. Like how many people will actually not own a vehicle, right? Not drive in
Nobody's
the
nobody's gonna.
yeah.
I was,
So
uh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, I'm just that thought just goes through my head all the time, right? As far as car sales and things go in the future, right? I don't know. It's gonna be very interesting.
Yeah. Now I know here in Houston, um, in Texas, it's like I don't know, it's the gas station capital of the country, I guess. I don't know. There's one on every corner, at least one, if not two, on every corner, every intersection. Now they ran out of intersections, so now they're putting them at places where there is no intersection. It's like they just keep building gas station after gas station after gas station, and I keep wondering, like, who the hell's going to go to the gas station in like 10 years?
Right. Yeah.
It takes now $3 million or so to build a gas station. They're not getting that money back in 10 years. I like, I don't know what these people are thinking, but um, that's kind of what it is.
That's the same here too. I mean, I see that, like you just said, there's gas stations. I noticed this past weekend just being built everywhere. It just, where is that going to go?
mm-hmm. Yeah. I used to, I was on like a community committee where we were helping out in the community, and there was this girl that worked with me, she worked for Toyota. And this was, I don't know, this was like 4 years ago. And so she was on a top secret project that she told me about, where they were,
Not so top secret.
yeah, not the top secret. So they were working with Nike and they were working with other retailers to build them a vehicle that drives by itself and is large enough to have merchandise inside. So basically, a store on wheels. And the idea was you want to go shopping, you hit the button, the store comes to your driveway.
Oh God.
And somehow it already has your size. So everything is in your size. And so you go inside the little store, the little box, right? And you like this, you try it on, you try this, you try this, whatever you want, you put in a bag and you walk out. And it automatically knows what you took. It scans you, charges your credit card, and then it goes to the next person.
That's crazy.
And so it's like, okay, who needs shopping centers anymore? Right? If the store is coming to you, that's insane. I don't know about like clothes, like Nike's doing it. Like, I mean,
Right,
they're
but I mean,
already,
how specific it needs to be, right?
yeah. I mean,
They're that
they're
much
working on
demand.
it. It's probably coming, but they've been thinking about this. They've been creating this. They've been coming up with ideas and working on this seriously for at least, 6 years. So the fact that like, the Amazon thing looks like a box to me is like, okay, just make it a little bit bigger. It's a store. It's a storefront, you
Yeah.
know? All these people that go to like makeup stores, right? You could have a makeup store show up to your house.
Be like
There might be
Sephora
there'd be
on
like a,
wheels.
yeah, you could be like a person in it. You sit down and you get like a, manicure, this, that, whatever. They give you facial, da 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 da. You try all the different things, you buy whatever you want, you leave.
I always think about like, okay, security around that, right? So if you get this store that's just going, like it's something to think about, right?
Yes. Yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
how are they going to
Yeah.
find these people? You take whatever.
Yeah, you wouldn't have it in the hood. But then I
Yeah,
guess you'd
I
have
mean,
people following it around, driving behind
it
it.
reminds me of the whole Chick-fil-A, that little robot that delivers, and then people like it opens up and people just grab it, or they're, messing with the little delivery bot. I
Hmm.
mean, all
They
sorts of.
have KFC uh delivery things in Korea, in
Oh,
South
did it?
Korea.
Yeah.
So you go to like a music festival outside or like a big state, like a big outside outdoor thing, and there's this little car that's driving around, and you kind of flag it down, and you pick what you want. You press the button, da da da, you charge it, and then it opens up and it gives you your food.
Yeah.
It's so cool. I was like, I want that. I was like, no, we couldn't have that here. People would beat the hell out of that thing just to get the
Oh,
just to get the
I know.
chicken
I
out of
mean,
it.
it's like when I lived in Atlanta, I mean, they did back then. They had the whole Chick-fil-A bot, would just go boop boop, drop it off, you know. They're doing it. So we'll see what happens. KFC though. Oof.
Yeah, I mean, it makes
Like,
it
I mean, how do they keep it warm? All sorts.
it has an oven, everything inside. Like it's really warm. Like it's really good.
Yeah,
Like it's just a
yeah.
restaurant in on wheels. It was insane.
But it amazes me, like different weather conditions. How does it, stay? Yeah, whole
Hey,
nother
they
just.
got it working. They got
Yeah,
it
they didn't
working.
figure
I
it
don't
out.
know.
No.
Anyway, so all right, what else we got? SmackDown. Let's look at that one.
All right.
All right. So, what's the SmackDown, you might be asking? Well, the SmackDown is our stock picking challenge. And we have a bunch of people that entered. And so we are going to pull up their stocks. Let's see how they're doing, and we'll figure out who's in first place.
All
All
righty.
right. All right. We do have a question before we get into the SmackDown. Todd's asking, hey, did you guys talk about gold today? Um, not that much. We did mention gold making an all-time high. Gold continues to make all-time highs. Gold is a really good thing to be in. I actually have Put spreads on gold. I've been it's been working incredibly well. Last month, I was in and out of it twice in the same expiration month. I was able to do put spreads in the same month twice. This month,
Hmm.
I put it on. I'm already almost out of it. So I'll probably put it on again this month. So double dipping on gold put spreads. I also have some naked puts on Nugget, NUGT, which is a gold miner ETF leveraged. The gold miners have not gone up as much as gold, but they're probably going to catch up. And so basically, it's like, yeah,
It
I was thinking about it today. I was like, okay, I know gold is going up. It's going up because people are buying it. The central banks are buying it. These countries, India, China, Russia, and their little North Korea, whoever else that want to get off the dollar, they
mhm.
all are
It
buying
is
gold.
concerning. Yeah.
So they're buying lots of gold and they're putting it away. They're stockpiling it. That's pushing it up. And then every time the Fed lowers rates, that sends gold prices higher. And that's just the natural, the way the economics work. So when they lower rates, gold should be catching a bid and going up even more. So I don't see any retreat for gold. Jim Rogers, he's a billionaire investor, starter of the Quantum Fund. He's big into silver. Silver has not appreciated as much as gold. So if you're looking up for like something to, like a catch-up trade, silver might be better off. You might get a bigger bang for out of your buck. But I think gold is definitely a buy and a hold. And if you're getting into it now, you might even take a look at some of the, what are the ways to leverage? Because I don't see gold going down. And this is something I've been thinking about lately. Which is, you know, the goal of us trading and owning stocks and trading options and whatnot is to make money, obviously. The question is, how long do we want it to take, and how much do we want to make? And so I was thinking, it's like, hey, I have different trades going on, I have different diversification going on. Um, Maybe if I'm really sure about something, maybe I just go all in on it and
Hmm.
not be diversified. Um, right now, gold is one of those things that I think is my opinion. I could be wrong, right? But I think it's going to continue to go higher. And so if I was in hedge fund world, we call it over whoa man, what's the name of it? Um, what do they call it when they have over too much of they have more than they're supposed to have one thing?
Oh,
Um,
like overbought or
Not overbought.
no,
It's
no. I know what you're talking about.
yeah, I forgot the word. It's
Overweighted? I don't know.
overweight. Yeah, there we go.
Overweight,
Overweight.
yeah, overweight,
Overweight.
yeah.
So yeah, so in hedge funds, it's like, okay, hey, normally we're supposed to have 20% of diverse, in each item, but or 10% or 3% or 2%, whatever. But now we have like 50% in gold. So could you be that in your own portfolio? Yeah, of course. And so there are a couple, AI obviously, but I don't know which AI stock is going to do well over the long term. So I'm kind of hesitant about going all in on that.
Right,
Gold
no one
can
knows
be.
that. Yeah.
Um, the Nasdaq continues to rise, the S&P continues to rise, so either one of those, all in, would be fine. So that's kind of what I've been thinking. And so Todd, refining with IAUI. Could you pull that one up? Put it on the
Yeah,
screen.
let's see. All right. You see my screen?
Yes,
All right.
IAUI.
IAUI. Neo's
So
gold.
Neo's Gold.
Okay.
All right. So that looks, is that, so that's a pretty new company, I think. Just gone public.
Yeah, it looks like it. So let's see. It's like a
Yeah. What are the fundamentals?
fundamental. So IAUI.
UI.
Neo's gold. ETF trust. Neo's Gold High Income ETF is an exchange traded fund launched and managed by Neo's Investment Management LLC.
Okay. Invest in fixed income and commodity markets of the United States. So if it's an income fund, that means they are probably trading options or selling options on their portfolio. And so it'll give you some income, but it will not
There you go.
grow as much as the underlying if you want it to grow. So yeah, the fund uses options to create to
Portfolio.
create its portfolio. So I don't know if it uses gold itself or if it's just long calls. Um, Either way, that to me, that kind of is a little suspect or a little scary. Um, but if it's working, then go for it. I wouldn't want anything that is only options because obviously there's decay and all the other factors. I would like an ETF that actually owns the underlying or at least the futures. Um, and then if it's a like an income fund, if any ETF says income on it, that means they're selling options against their portfolio to generate a return and give it as like a dividend or something like that to its shareholders. That is something I probably would also want to stay away from because I don't need the income. I want this thing to grow, right? Gold is taking off to the moon. I want to be participating. I want it to be triple, quadruple leveraged in
Mhm.
that sense to take advantage of the move. Don't give me income. I know how to make my own income kind of thing. Um, Todd's saying, yeah, it pays a monthly dividend covered call ETF. So that's great if you don't know how to trade covered calls, but if you're listening to us, then you probably do. You could probably do a better job yourself. So um, I think that goes. And then we got a comment from Michael that says he's been doing really well in GDX. So if you could pull that one up,
Yep.
GDX. A lot of
GD.
the days it goes down, even when gold, or it goes up, even when gold goes down.
Spanak Gold Miners ETF.
Yeah. So see, that's
Yeah, look
a
at
that's
that.
a nicer looking chart.
Yeah,
Um,
left to right,
yeah,
and especially lately. Ooh.
yeah. The last month, 2 months, ever since that low back in December, it's taken off. But yeah, so gold miners are they can either go over or they could go under the gold or the actual commodity. Um, Up till now, gold miners have lagged. So gold itself has performed better than gold miners. And so I think the gold miners are actually trying to catch up. People are buying the miners instead of gold to try to, because they're behind on their benchmarks.
Right, and there's a little euphoria to that, right? I mean, the psychological people start jumping into everything related.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I'm on the idea of like not overcomplicating it, right? Um,
Yeah.
but
And then there's several other miners that are doing really well. Newmont, Agnico Eagle. I mean, those guys are like all-time high or at least 52-week highs. I don't know about all-time high, but
what is
um,
Newmont? Is that
Newmont, NMT maybe?
NMT? Newmont.
No.
No. Newmont. Newmont. Look it up.
Newmont NEM.
NEM. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at that. Very
Yeah.
similar.
Very similar chart. Yeah. So, if you know anything specific about the company, then you can go in the company, maybe do better. Like if you find the one best gold miner, or you just stick to the ETF that has all the miners and you participate that way. But either one of those, like I said, I have sold naked puts on Nugget, NUGT. Um, and as it rallies, right, my puts are expiring because they're weekly puts and they're close to the money. So I'm okay with owning it if it goes down. So if it goes down a week, I'll get assigned. I'll own the stock, and then or the ETF, and then as it rallies, as it continues, hopefully I'll keep it and have it appreciate.
Yeah.
So until then, I'm getting paid to wait.
Get paid on
Uh,
each end.
yeah, but right
Nice.
now, what's happening is this is this is not normal, but
It's not normal for gold to be going up as much as it is.
No, not
Uh,
just gold, but there's a lot of companies that are doing really well right now that I've been selling naked puts on because normally you sell naked puts and you can make a really good return, and the return is greater than the stock.
mhm.
Like the stock might go up 2% in a month, right? But you're making that on your in a week on the naked put. But right now, some of these stocks are running so hard that they're outperforming the naked puts.
I mean, yeah, that's crazy.
Like, yeah, if you take a look at
Yeah.
Nugget, you take a look at GLD, you take a look at GE, GEV, Goldman Sachs. I mean, a lot of these are just they're just running and running and running really hard that um I'm like, oh,
It's something to be aware of though, right?
I just
Because
need to own the stock. I'm
yeah,
losing money by not owning the stock.
but it's also something you have to be aware of because what comes up can come down.
Whoa, yeah, it always comes down.
Of course.
Um, So some of but they're all part of the current ecosystem that's super
Mhm.
hot right now. AVGO, you take a look at that one, up 8% today. I mean that's a competitor of Nvidia. It's done well for the last, 5, 6 years, but today and since earnings a couple days ago, it's doing some even better, phenomenally better. Um,
Well, they had news that they're going to have their own chips contract in 2026, I think it is.
mhm.
But they're not going to use like NVIDIA. They're going to use
Yeah. But they're
the
also big in wireless. I mean, they make chips
sure.
already. They're big
Yeah.
in wireless and so now OpenAI is one of their bigger customers. So I think OpenAI gave them a $10 billion order for their chips. So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, these numbers are getting real crazy.
It really is. It's incredible.
Cool beans. All right. Cool. Thank you, Todd, for the question. Thank you, Michael, for comments. Let's take a look at our SmackDown. There is one particular stock that is my favorite on the list that happened to run uh, because of some good news event.
Was it Hood?
Uh, yeah.
How'd I know?
All right. So,
I
here.
spoiled your party.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Hood, was it on Friday, was inducted into the not the Hall of Fame, but
Well,
the S&P 500.
yeah, that and AppLovin got in.
Apple haven't got in as another one.
And
And there
then
was
MicroStrategy got snubbed.
yes.
So
So that one
yeah.
went down. So that's good
So
for somebody on the list. Yes.
yep.
All right. So okay. NLG, we never really found out what that was. So we'll
Okay.
skip that one. Palantir is trading at 166.14.
Well, let me go from the top there.
Oh, I thought you already updated those.
No,
Okay.
no, no, no. That's just there. So Amex,
Amex is $1 and 14 cents.
$1.14. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Lilly is 749.80.
749.80. Okay.
Okay. Tesla is 351.17.
351.17.
Okay. NLG is still at
That was
0.
Tesla.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now we're on to Palantir.
Palantir 166.13.
15. Okay.
ITRG $2.70.
Okay. IRG is what? Two
$2.70.
cents. Okay.
Fortnite 79.35.
79.45.
TLT 89.85.
89.85. Okay.
Okay, NTNX 76.62.
Okay.
FNV 197.76.
197.76. Okay.
Hood 117.69.
All right.
Google 239.60.
Mhm.
Netflix 1254.45.
One, two, five, four,
1254.45.
4, 5.
Okay. Monster 324.70. 324.70. And
We always say monster. It's I do
and
it all the time because it's just so close to monster. Yeah.
and HL is $10.84.
84. Okay.
All right. Whoa. Robert Haley, 487.22, which HL is in the lead. 20% return so far.
Okay. Pretty good.
Yeah,
Valhalla, you got NTNX. Yeah, pretty good. Mr. Haley.
not bad.
Not bad. So
My son,
you're all good on Hood. I know. So you're a owner of Hood, aren't you?
yep. Sold some more
Okay.
naked puts on it today.
All right. I think that's going to be a really good one looking going forward. I mean,
That's the idea. I think it's a
I
really
really
good
do.
stock. They got a really good CEO. They're coming out with they had their like I guess new events coming out, like a party, you know. Um and so they announced that they are now allowing short selling, which they hadn't done before. They have 24-hour index trading now, which they didn't have before. And they're also going more into social trading.
Mhm.
Um,
And I think they really captured the younger, you know, the younger crowd, right? So to speak, because they were born out of what, 2021, all COVID. They've
mhm.
been really adapting. I think they're into the crypto scene. They're into everything moving
Yeah.
forward.
Once you get used to a trading platform, you don't want to switch.
No, it's like anything, right? It's like, oh, I don't want to go over here.
Yeah.
I don't want to move we talk about it, we laugh about it. I'm an Android, person. I like the idea of going to Apple, but I just can't seem to do it.
Yeah.
Because then I got to do it. I got to get,
You gotta learn
get the
everything.
cloud and
You gotta swipe
yeah.
up and down instead of this way and that
Right.
way
And
when
they
you
know
move the
that.
ball.
They know that. So, um, yeah, same type of thing.
Yeah.
But
Like I've been with Thinkorswim, using Thinkorswim for, I don't know, 15 years now since I started. And
mhm.
then, a few years ago, I got an account with Tasty Trade and I look at the analyze screen and it's sideways. And I'm like, what the heck is going on?
I don't like this. I don't
And
want to do
I
it.
don't like this. I want my butterfly to be like a pyramid, like an up and down pyramid, not a
I like it
sideways
the way I like
pyramid.
it, right?
They're trying to be different. They're trying to be cool. They're trying to make improvements, but I'm like, yeah, no, I don't like it.
But
Oh man. So once these kids, they're on Robinhood. They love it. It's like a
mhm.
game. And they make it super simple, super easy to play with. They got crypto now. They added sports betting. I saw ads this weekend because football just started, right? Week one of football. So I saw the ads like, oh hey, um, who are you picking? This team or this team? Robinhood. It's like, what? Ah!
Yeah, it's merging, right? So wow,
They got it
amazing
all.
time.
They got the tokenization coming of the stocks.
Mhm.
If you want to own a piece of a company that's not even public yet, you can on Robinhood, coming soon.
Yeah.
So, um, yeah, it's insane, and they're getting a bigger and bigger share. So I think for the long term, that's gonna be one that I'm gonna hopefully hold for a long time, and hopefully it does well. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think it's, going forward, we should talk about, I'm going to propose that we talk about things like uh the Genius Act and you have all these stable coins and what it means and how it all interplays.
Hmm.
It's changing so fast, like what World Liberty Coin, all these things are happening very quickly. So it'd be good to talk about.
Yes, these what are they called? The treasury companies.
Mhm. Yeah,
They're springing up left and right. Um,
every which way. Yeah.
so first it was Bitcoin treasury with the monster, right? Um,
Yeah.
and then
Monster.
the and then the BMNR that I lost on the SmackDown with. for the
Yeah.
Ethereum. That was a big one. Now they have ones for Solana coin, and there's a Tom coin, I think it's called.
Mhm.
I haven't even heard of this coin, but there are companies that are like, oh yeah, we just bought $10 million of this Tom coin. Um, and it's like, okay.
Right. But how does Wall Street end up valuing this, right? I think they're just right. It's just it's fascinating because, you know, does it count
You know,
towards a
I think we
what?
just, we take OptionGenius public. We sell shares at whatever we can sell them for, and we go out and we buy Dogecoin. And
Pepe coin.
Peppercoin, yeah. We are the shitcoin treasury. We'll buy all the crap.
Oh my God. What craziness.
And everybody that watches our show, they get free shares. Yay!
Hey, all right.
Everybody, you leave a comment, you get a free share. Yeah.
Yeah, you
You
never
saw my
know.
shirt? Did you see my shirt today?
I do. I see that. I love it.
Yeah, it's Option Genius
That's what
logo
it's
on the
all
bottom and
about,
everything.
right?
Yep.
What it's
I
all
designed
about.
I designed this shirt too. It's like, yay, we gave these away on one of our live events. So
I know. Where's mine?
um here, I'll take it off and I'll mail it to you. That's the only one I have left. We print
That's
it on demand. That's the way the world works now, you know? You
yep.
get the size and then you put the order, and that's it.
That's it. Or,
No inventory. There
it'll
is
show
no
up to your
inventory.
house in a box and in one of those moving carts and you can just
Yeah. Yep. So much for the UPS guy, right?
I know, right?
Somebody was telling me yesterday that the biggest job, the biggest like profession that hires the most people is driving, or one of them is driving. You know, you have the delivery drivers and the truck drivers and the taxi guard and all the drivers, bus drivers and this and that. And they're going away. So
Yeah. And I mean, when the first idea, I think you told me about it years ago. You said that there are actually trucks in certain states that they're automatic, right? They're
semis,
not.
yeah.
Yeah, I've yet to see it, but that's crazy.
They're on
Have you
Florida.
actually
They're in
seen it on
Florida.
the
You're in
road?
Florida. You're in Florida, right? They're
I
in
am,
Florida
yeah.
on the
And I believe me,
turnpike.
I look.
They're on the turnpike going up and down, north and south.
With
You're
nobody in there.
you're on the panhandle, so you might they're not on I-10, but
I
they're on the
10,
they're on the turnpike going up and down. And now they
95.
have them here in Texas. So at nighttime, driving between like Dallas, San Antonio, Austin, Fort Worth, and probably Houston as well, they have trucks at nighttime
So they do it
without
certain
with
hours that
without
they're having.
drivers. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And
What?
these are the big ones, the semis, you know?
That's just, you know,
It's
it's
it's only
here.
growing.
It's here
It's only
now.
growing. Yep.
But I've yet to
So
see one. I mean, I know it's coming, but I'm gonna be driving along one day, and I'm gonna look over and be like, oh man, there's no one in that.
the poor kids, the kids are like, "Doo, doo, doo," and
Yeah, no, yeah,
like
right.
there's nobody
The kid can't do it
there.
anymore. He can't do it anymore. That's a pastime, right?
Yeah, that's for
Oh,
us, our
good.
generation. These young
Yeah.
kids, they won't even know what that is anymore.
No, I have no idea what that means.
They're just on their phone the whole time on the car.
Yeah, they would never even look up. They just look. Oh well.
All right. So that's it for today's show, people. Thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the button, leave a comment. Let us know if it did good, bad, or ugly. I don't know if we need to shave. Let me know. If you like my shirt, let me know. That'd be cool.
Love the shirt.
And we will see you again on Friday,
Friday.
1 o'clock. Yep.
Congratulations to Mr. Haley.
The Fed is next week, right?
Yes,
So
Wednesday.
next
Believe, yeah.
Wednesday. Okay, so that'll
Hmm.
give us something to talk about next week. But yeah, we're looking at right now. It's the futures, or the options market and the futures markets are pricing in 100% certainty of a rate cut.
Quarter. But now there's
Uh,
even there's a little bit of a kind of a nudge to whether we get a half point. I
yeah,
don't think so, but man, that would be something. Oh
yeah,
boy.
yeah.
So
So
buckle up.
yeah, so we got that, and then we also have in market power news we got the Phoenix coming.
Yep.
And the Phoenix is another strategy that uses the market power signal. So I've been back testing that. I finished last night. I've been here in the office till like 8 o'clock every night doing these back tests.
Burning
Um,
that candle.
Yeah. And so I finished year to date. So the first 8 months of the year are done. The results look really, really good. So I just need to patch up a few things, clarify some stuff, make sure go over the numbers again. And a couple trades I want to do a second time. And then we'll probably next week do a live training with the Market Power group and show them how it works. Of course, it's brand new, so we're going to
Yep.
be learning it together. We're going to be trading it live together. You've already been trading it,
Looks really good.
but that's only been about a week, so
Yep.
we're getting this out there as soon as we can.
Hmm.
So we'll see how that goes, and then we'll all like learn together and we'll improve it together because I don't think it's done. Like I have the basics, but as we go through it and trade it day after day, I think we're all going to come up with different improvements and suggest
Yeah,
and
that's
the
the greatest part. You see these different little improvements that you can make along the way.
Yep.
It's
And
really
then it's
special.
not just like us looking, it's the whole everybody in the community is looking and like, oh, hey, I did this and I did this. Or like, oh, that's a great idea. Let's try that.
Hmm.
And then we pick it up from there and we go and it just gets better and better. So um, we are hopefully getting that done. And so that will be awesome. Um, Hopefully we'll be able to do it on Monday. So if you guys want to, if you're in Market Power, then look out for that. We'll have a live on Monday and hopefully we'll do that.
Hey, be
So.
trading all the time.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
That's what people wanted. That's what they
you're
told us.
busy. Yep,
They're
that's what
like,
they
hey,
want.
market power is not enough trades. I want more trades because I like making money. I was like, okay. It's hard to find a trade that just wins almost every time. It's hard to do that, right? They're like, I don't care. I want more trades.
Yep,
So
this is
okay.
looking really promising. Yeah.
So, market power days, you trade market power. Every other day, you trade this, and it's you got something to do every single day. So
Every day.
cool beans. All right, my man. I'll talk to you in a couple days.
All right.
Alrighty. Thank you,
Bye
everyone,
bye,
and
everyone.
we'll see you next time.